Folks, we're almost done. We have 2 more weeks. I don't know about you, but I'm so excited. Okay, a little scared too. Are any of you even old enough to remember this show? Anyway, this is the week where your semester pretty much is made or broken. Have you taken the time to work on your paper over the last month plus? Have you taken my advice and followed my sample? This is when I get scared. Dare I even look? Okay, now that we're through with that, let's just chat about the material for the week, shall we? You know the drill. Here's the weekly announcement. Please see that I have a special note for here. The due dates the last 2 weeks. Week 14 is going to be due on the 1st, which is a normal day, but I will not accept it late, period. Week 15 is going to be due on the 8th, but I will not accept it late, period. Okay? Down here we have our video. I tell you exactly why I'm not accepting things late. No exceptions, no extensions, no excuses. Here is our chapter listing, preview of what's coming up for your last project. Here's what we're going to go over this week, and here's what's due on Sunday the 1st by no later than 11:59 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, December 1st. They cannot be submitted late. Anything coming in past the deadline will be a 0. As usual, let's find the 102 Masterclass schedule by going over here to the right-hand side, clicking on the link under View the Course Schedule, and then going all the way down to week 14. Right here. Perfect. As you can see here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 documents to review this week, and 2 things to submit. Before anything else, once again, you need to know I cannot accept the final paper late. The due date is Sunday, December 1st, 2024 by 11:59 p.m. Eastern. No ifs, ands, or buts, please. I need these in so I can grade them and get them done prior to the semester ending. If you're late, I'm late. If I'm late, then the department is late. If the department is late, then the campus is late. If the campus is late, then they're going to look for someone to blame, and it sure as hell won't be you. Get the point? No extensions, no excuses, no exceptions. This will be the next to last week of the semester, and I will have roughly 100 papers to grade by the end of the week to submit final grades. And that's before I even get your presentations. So I can't be accepting papers 2, 3, or 4 days late in the final week. Period. Please don't put it off. I'd hate to see people get burned for their extreme procrastination. All right, I think I made myself pretty clear. So, enough of that. Let's jump in and look at the argumentative argumentative research speech overview. Right there. There we go. This page outlines the requirements for the project. As you can see here, it should be 5 to 8 minutes long. Do not panic. Trust me when I tell you this. 5 to 8 minutes while scripting your video out is very quick. There are so many times this semester I think I'm killing it on time for these recordings, and when I look down, I'm shocked to find out that I'm already at 12 minutes. I mean, right now it's only 3.5, but still. Don't think 5 to 8 minutes is ridiculous, because it will go very quickly, even if you won't even realize it. Anyway. Anything under 5 minutes will lose you points. Anything grossly over 8 minutes will lose you points. There's a sweet spot here, folks. Hit it. So there's a video here that you can watch if you want, helpful hints and samples and so forth. Yay. Whatever you want. Hopefully you can get all that from me the next 2 weeks in 2 videos. We'll see how that goes. You will be using the presentation to show what you found in your research paper. No, you will not be reading your research paper. This is not a Sunday afternoon in the children's section of the library where we sit cross-legged listening to whatever the librarian is choosing to use to entertain the kids, okay? You're presenting the highlights of your paper. As you can see, the powers that be provided 5 bullet points for you to encompass in your presentation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, that's what it's going to be, right? The highlights of your paper. Now, as I'm going to show you after we're through with this, I don't necessarily expect you to go point by point, but if you can mix them around with your own attitude and personality, you'll be in really good shape. One of the things I need you to understand is that we are talking about a presentation here, which means that you are trying to entertain as well as inform your audience. Think about my videos. Whether you connect to them or not, you know I'm at least trying to make you chuckle with my break-in gifts or my stupid dad comments. When I do a PowerPoint, I always include visuals to break up the blocks of text because I don't want the audience to be hammered by lines of text after lines of text. They want to be entertained as they learn something. So that's why this section is very important. Adding visuals. You can use a variety of techniques to keep your readers interested, but make sure to cite these. Again, I'll attach a sample and explain it next week, but just stay with me. Clip art and other small pictures are always helpful, but make sure that they actually connect to what's already on the slide. Use your best judgment to ensure that you're not being exploitative. For example, if you're speaking about drunk driving, you shouldn't even consider putting a bloody DUI accident crime scene photo on the slide. That's the quickest way to alienate your audience. Don't drop 300 photos on a single slide either. 1 or 2 tasteful pictures in the right locations will speak volumes. That goes for stats and graphs as well. Remember to cite those stats and graphs, however. The key to everything is readability. If your audience cannot follow your ideas or anything is so jumbled that it's confusing, your presentation totally falls flat. Now, it's not on this page, but I'll tell you right now that I will expect roughly the same number of slides as I expect pages in your paper. A title slide, 7 to 8 content slides, at least 1 references slide, and the material of all the material that you use within the presentation, and then the almighty any questions slide. So, at minimum, I'll be expecting a grand total of 10 slides. Since many of you skip these videos, I'll be sure to spell that out very clearly in the announcement as well next week, okay? Now, the next few pages here, well, they're all pretty commonsensical. Honestly, they're not necessarily geared towards your presentation in general. They're more lined up for parts of your research paper in itself, which we've already covered. And how to begin a speech effectively? It takes care of the introduction and attention getters. Honestly, for this presentation, you want to introduce yourself and the topic. Once you establish the basics, yes, you'll need something interesting to get started. I always prefer the shocking statistic or statement, but you might choose a third-person anecdote or historical review. So you can look here to see how you start the speech. Okay, great. The attention getter is what we were just talking about, hooking your audience. Like I said, startling statement, that's my favorite. But anecdotes work, historical references, references to current events. Quotations are okay in presentations, not so much in the paper itself. Reference to subject, it's called a declarative. It's not really all that great. And then I know we skipped one at the very bottom. The question. I love questions in presentations because you're actually forcing your audience to listen in. It's really well done. So honestly, it's up to you what you think your presentation will require. I will say that many students use the opening question to very nice effect. It makes the audience feel like they're part of the presentation rather than just an unwilling viewer. Now, in organizing the argumentative research speech, this one here, to me, it's a bit of a waste of time because you're going to organize the presentation the same way you organize your paper. Introduction, background, argument point 1, argument point 2, argument point 3, counter-argument, rebuttal, conclusion. Once you get through that, you're done. I don't necessarily think that you needed an entire page to explain that bit of common sense. Then we have keeping your speech moving, transitions and signposts. Okay? It's another way of talking about what we talked about last week with the Pennington Publishing blog and the skeletal layout. How do you move from one idea to another? Make sure the transitions are chosen with forethought and make sure that if they fit your purpose. You may not be able to explain the reasons why you think one word is better than another without some linguistics classes, but most of you are native English speakers, so you'll know which one sounds right and which ones don't. Put some thought into it. Finally, in citing sources in a speech, well, it's the same as it always was. If it's not totally your idea, you must cite it now and forever. So you can see this and then click here and say, oh, look at that. It pops up. Oh my gosh, look at that. So it's just a way of stating your citation instead of saying, open parenthesis, Johnson, comma, 2023, comma, paragraph 4, close parenthesis, because that just sounds stupid. Anyway, this page is not bad at showing you what you can speak, but, just take a look at it. Now that all the theory is done, let's talk about brass tacks, shall we? Let's get into the assignments for the week. As you can see, we have 2 assignments for this week. The research paper that we've spoken about ad nauseum, and the outline for your speech. As you've been working on this paper for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, you know what to do. If you need to, you can always go back to the sample, which I highly recommend that you do, that I have attached to pretty much every single announcement that you've had in Unit 3, which means you've had it for like the last 5 weeks. So find that sample, print it out, take a look at it. Just make sure to submit it on time. And once again, on time is Sunday, December 1st, 2024, by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think that's like the 5th time I've said it in this video. There is no excuse as to why you're going to be late, okay? Be sure to have 7 full pages of text. Make sure to cite everything that you use. Be sure to have a references page. Be sure to follow APA formatting. Follow the samples and directions, please. Literally, you should have been working on this for over a month. So if you've put it off, well, the chickens are coming home to roost, Bobby Boucher. Regardless, I have the same sample and directions on the announcement once again as I have for weeks. Please look at it. It is worth a full quarter of your grade, 25% of your grade. It needs to be perfect as you can make it. You can do this, okay? Then we have the speech outline. Honestly, clicking on this will bring up the traditional outline. Honestly, I actually didn't change this. I don't mind how it looks because it is indeed the traditional outline. Now, granted, I would probably add a extra space here to make it work, but hey, whatever. All you have to do is really start writing out what you want to put in here. Give me an idea of what you're going to talk about. Take this whole part out here and put your own introduction in. Hi, my name's Bobby Jean, and I am a nursing major. Hi, my name is Johnny Football, and I am a criminal justice major. I chose this topic because, how did you choose it? Why did you choose it? What's the background knowledge that you needed to have to understand what was happening? Any additional details? Did you change your thesis at all during the writing process? Maybe you started out one way and went to another way. What were your 3 claims that you made in your paper? At minimum of. It might be 4, it might be 5. What were your major points from the counter argument and rebuttal? And then finally, my favorite part of the whole thing, what were the interesting things you learned? Give me 2 or 3 interesting things that you didn't know prior that you found out during your research. Why'd you find them interesting? Did you learn anything shocking or surprising? Okay? Just rewrite the outline here and submit that. Now, yes, you have 2 things to do this week, this being one of them, the paper being the other. However, you should have been working on the paper for over a month. At this point, it's just polishing. This one here, yeah, you're going to have to put some thought into it, but it shouldn't take you more than like an hour to do. So honestly, if you've listened to me the entire time, this is another relatively easy week, okay? 2 weeks left, folks. Can you believe it? You've almost made it. For this week, get your paper perfect and submitted. That's your main goal. Next, do your outline. That will only help you, okay? Once these submissions are complete, put your feet up and relax. You've earned it at this point. See you for our final week next week.